And we're here in Washington, D.C. at the National Mall with Reject and Protect rather. And so we're going to start our live stream here. We're going to roll over here. There's a water ceremony that's going to be happening in just a few minutes. Or it's happening right now, rather. I'm sorry. Anyway, we've been down here the last 3 days. This is the third day of this protest against Keystone XL. So stick around.
Supporting us in this endeavor that can be life-changing to not only the Native Americans, but to each and every one of you, your grandchildren, your children, and so on and so forth. So again, let's have a good day here today. Let's be safe. Let's be friendly to everybody that comes to this encampment. We said we come here in a peaceful way. Make sure we stay that way here today. And again, thank you.
Oh.
Really awkward clap there. Good job.
Good of you to acknowledge that.
We're going to do a check-in for the day. Before I do that, I want to acknowledge one of our tribal reps that's come a long way to be here with us today. We just arrived. Is Brooklyn Baptiste. Is a relative to the Nez Perce tribe out in Idaho. And I want to acknowledge the Nez Perce are also part of this fight. They've taken a stand on their territories to block the transportation of things that will support the infrastructure of the tar sands, the source of this pipeline and all the countless pipelines that are going through the belt and through this land. So I want to acknowledge Brooklyn. Brooklyn, if you want to say some words, you can.
Mainly everyone, but everyone that been on council about 9-10 years now, and served as chair, vice chair, but had the opportunity to meet a lot of great people, and amongst great leaders, just great human beings in my time back here today. And it's an honor to be here today to offer a few words, but back in Idaho, it might not seem like it's close to any of the situations that's going on or any of the cause of the tar sands, but that's the most inlet port from the west coast that comes up to north central Idaho to our reservation, our homeland, and they were trying to ship these large mega loads of equipment up our highway through it's real pristine country still. It's pretty isolated. They were going to make it into an industrial corridor to get these loads up to the tar sands, and so us as just like everyone else, all the tribes, we depend on the words, the promises, but our trustee failed us because the Forest Service did not make them consult through even the last president's executive order that you have to consult with tribes, and so we felt that they weren't consulting us, and our tribe, the state of Idaho doesn't work with tribes very well, and they issued a permit the last minute, and they knew that we couldn't file an injunction, so we met on Sunday and knew they were going to come across the reservation without talking to us, and so 8 of the 9 members that were there present at the time decided, well, we have to stop them somehow and raise awareness, and so we decided that we were going to protest with our people, and as they came across the land, and was going to make a stand, and 8 of 9 of us that were there, the other person, he was on his vacation in the mountains rafting, and we all got arrested for blockade those megaloads, and they didn't use that in the case, but it created awareness to what was going on, and it helped. At the time, it was not really common for tribal council to go to jail for a cause, but we felt that it needed to happen regardless of our seats or not. If you're leaders, most true leaders will never call themselves a leader, they just call themselves a servant, and so we decided if we're at this table, whether it's behind a desk or not, we have to stand in front of our people, not behind them, not on the side of them, but we have to be in front with them, and so we made the stand. Right now we won in court. Judge Windmill was really our consideration. We have a good legal team, but also some prayer. We had laws right before that night. My own cousin was tribal police, and he arrested me. And but I told him he had to do what he had to do. So it was about putting it in our court system so we could take care of it. In this way, just like anything else, you have to strategize. You have to be methodical about what you do because guaranteed this is what they're doing here. They know what they're doing. They're not dummies. They spend millions, billions of dollars. So what most people thought was impossible would never happened. We stopped them from coming through. So now there hasn't been a megaload coming through. They have to come to us, and that's when all these big oil companies, GE and Mega Morgan, they would come to us and after that say, "Oh, we were told not to talk to you guys. You guys just told us you guys didn't matter," and that's what we were told. And now they know the difference. And then they said, "Well, can we give you money? Can we give you stuff?" And I said, "I didn't go to jail for nothing. I didn't go through that just so I can sell out here." So we're doing strong, but we also believe that we're all connected. Salmon back home, a salmon doesn't. They're sacred, just like anything else. The buffalo, they don't care. You know, they have to do something they're supposed to do, and whoever catches it catches it. And it's the same as our environment, our relations, and how we're connected. And I always kind of relate it to most people can't understand it because we're talking to congressmen, people who change laws, state senators. They don't know anything about how we believe or how we try to portray ourselves. Our job is not to make them believe what we believe in. Is to show them how to be sympathetic to our situation because the importance of how we believe is the same. I know there's probably a lot of Christians here, um, and I don't want to offend you, but I'm just going to give you an analogy and how I use it and try to explain to people that if you had the very last Bible in your hand and someone was ripping a verse or a page out every day, maliciously or not, because they were using it for something. How hard would you fight for that? How hard would you fight to protect it? Because you would no longer have the teachings to guide you. And that's how it is with our environment. If we lose a species, a relative, if we lose our buffalo, if we lose our wolves, our salmon, even a drainage, a river system, then we forget. Back home, our ways, we always pray for our food all the time, like everyone else. We pray for every single food. And when we go gather them, the roots and berries, if we lose those, then we forget to give thanks to that food as we eat it. We forget to go gather it. We forget to have appreciation for it. Then we forget to pray for it. And that's huge when you take something from someone's belief system, when you take something from their way to believe. And that's how it is. That's why I compare it to the Bible. When you take something away, it's hard to recover that. So we're trying to do that. And right here, this pipeline is exactly that. That tar sands, our relatives up there are being annihilated because their environment. It may not seem like it, but everyone here is here for that purpose. So, and this first tribe wanted to come and show our support that we're doing this together. So that's the only way it can happen. And they might not see it as important to them, but to us it is. Even I always say that to when you're a tribal council and you fight for people, they still don't like you. You're still gonna fight for them, even if they don't agree with us and they don't care about us. We still are gonna fight for them and save our land for them as well, because our grandchildren are gonna use that land later on. So I just want to say thank you, Katsiaoya, for allowing me to say a few words here, and I'm honored to be here and be part of this. And this first tribe, it keeps everyone in your prayers. We're fighting our fight all together. We can win this. It can be done. So, Katsiaoya, God bless.
So we got an update for today. There's the different things going on, um, and one of those things is we're painting a teepee. And this teepee we're going to gift to the museum, or we're gifting it to the U.S. government, to the White House, and the Smithsonian is going to hold it on their behalf. And so we're painting a teepee in this tent here, and it's open to anybody to help. We have an artist. His name is Steve Tamayo, and he's designed that, but he needs help painting that. And so it's open to non-native, native alike to help him throughout the day here. He needs at least 4 people, but whoever can help can do that. So I just want to put that out there, that they're going to be doing it here in the tent here, setting it up. I'm going to pass it off to Jane to help whatever words we need to say.
Thanks, Dallas.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. So today we are going to be doing an action, and those roles have already been assigned. And so for everybody else that hasn't been in those trainings, so if you haven't been in the training, that means you don't have a role specifically in that action and deploying that. but we want you there in support. And so we ask if you want to support the action that you go to the Lincoln Memorial, 11:15, and we will be there. You don't all have to stand in one mass. We'd actually prefer if you don't. Just be there as a tourist visiting the Lincoln Memorial, and we will deploy the action. The other things that are happening today is, we will still have lunch, under the tent, probably a little bit later today because of the action, but it will be there, I think, starting at noon. It's critical that we really get kind of all hands on deck with the painting of the teepee and making sure that that is all moving forward. So that's another thing that we're going to be doing today. This evening, I really hope that it's not as windy and crazy as it was yesterday, so the documentary viewing can be a little bit more enjoyable. We're still going to attempt, to do that. So we'll still have supper at 6, doing a talk at 7, and then a documentary showing. The other thing that I wanted to ask our community to do, and obviously I see today that it's already being done, is making sure that this space remains clean and remains the image that we want to portray to everybody that's walking by. So if you see trash, if you see things that need to be recycled, make sure you're putting the recycled bottles into the recycled container and picking up the trash so we can help keep this clean. We want people as they walk by to know why we're here, and we have many beautiful banners and signs to do that. So let's just make sure as a community we're making sure that our message is getting out to folks that are walking by. So that's very important. Is there any other kind of questions that folks have too that we wanted to use this space and time for?
Duncan.
Hi, I'm Duncan with 350.org. Tonight at 7:45, there's going to be an event that happens, or that is meeting here at the camp. One of the agencies that has the ability to intervene on the Keystone XL case is the EPA. They haven't really stepped up to say that they're the Environmental Protection Agency. They haven't really stepped up to protect the environment in this case. And so some people are going to meet over here at the camp. And then we're going to walk over to the Federal Triangle Metro stop. There we're going to meet someone who has a big van with a projector on it. And we're going to go be projecting messages from people all over the country in support of the event, asking the EPA to intervene and to send a message to the president that we need to actually protect the environment and that the Keystone Pipeline's a bad idea. That's happening. We're meeting here at 7:45, walking over there by 8. You're welcome to join us. You might miss the documentary, but we'll be showing our own kind of movie, and it should be very fun.
Also, I forgot about that, Duncan. I forgot about that. We actually had agreed that we wouldn't show a documentary tonight. They were all doing EPA action, and so I'm the idiot. So thank God for Duncan.
And Rachel passes on the message that speakers and singers are very welcome at that space. So I'll talk with Jane and Dallas about the right folks to bring to that. So you may get a special invitation as well. Thanks.
Was there supposed to be a water ceremony at Representative Kerry's house?
That's on Friday, and so there's a interfaith ceremony happening in front of Secretary Kerry's house on Friday. We will be leaving from here about 10:15, so we will do the action in front of Kerry's house probably at 11. It'll take us that long to use Metro bus to get there.
There's no mass transportation there. We have to use the bus or the Metro.
The van. We'll have a couple vans, so depending on how many people here want to go, but the bus is actually the best way to get to Georgetown unless you also want to hop in a cab.
We don't know how to use the bus.
We'll do too. Oh yeah. There'll be a group of people going, and so on Friday we'll obviously have very clear directions on that. Yep.
A heads up, we're gonna try to get a schedule for folks, like a printed out schedule, and post it in the tent there of the events, not only for today but for the rest of the week. I know that this folks have been asking a lot of questions about the schedule, so we're gonna try to get it posted in the tent there, and also a little sheet of talking points are the key points for this encampment for folks to have it, because I know there's a lot of tourists coming up for our Indian brothers trying to take their pictures and trying to take a picture of the Indian right there. Weezy finds Indian of Indian, so. And if you see him charging people for pictures, tell him to stop. He's not supposed to be doing that.
We told him he could only do that outside this space.
Yeah, he can only do that.
That was the agreement we came to.
I get my cut.
Yeah. He's gonna be holding a sign, take a picture with an Indian, and
So the other thing that I wanted to do is just to ask the DC Action Lab and the 350 team just to step in a little bit, just so we can acknowledge all the work that you're doing. Don't be shy. Please don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
DC Action 350. You don't know the amount of work this team has done in order to actually make this happen. And they work late every night to ensure that the next day is going to happen on schedule. And so they are key logistics people, and they know this city in and out, and they've been a tremendous help to all of us that have come in. So thank you for your guys' ongoing commitment. Any other questions about today that we need to answer? Tom? No question? I thought that was a question.
No, I'm good. I would just say, not only do we need to help keep the camp clean, but we are on Indian time, okay? And that means to me that anything that you want to do on your own time is your business. But let's not be having anything illegal or anything that would be controversial. Let's participate in a good way and a welcoming way, as President said, so that the media or anybody couldn't take something and twist it into a misrepresentation of this awesome event. Thank you.
Jay, we need coffee.
Amen, brother. I had a conference call this morning, so I was running late, and I didn't have time to get my coffee this morning. I'm not happy right now about that. I'm in the same boat. That's what I meant to say. I need coffee too.
Some coffee and plug it in someplace.
Yeah. Let's try to work on that.
This is also for our native folks here. I want to see if we can I want to have a meeting here because this afternoon after the action we have a lot of free time, and so I'm saying right now 3 o'clock at 3 p.m. and until all our other native brothers and sisters are here, we need to have a space amongst ourselves to check in. We haven't had a chance to do that. So at 3 p.m. here in camp, so make sure we let folks know. We'll have a meeting for our own folks, okay? And just to put it out there, we kindly and humbly respect our allies to not be a part of that. We need to have our own space to check in amongst our own folks, make sure everything's good. So we're good on that? All right, watch that.
David.
Hi, I'm David. I'm with Oil Change International, and we noticed yesterday that the American Petroleum Institute is running ads on the Washington Post website that are a little aggressive, a little out of line to say the least. So we're going to be putting out a press release, and thanks to those that provided quotes for that, and also inviting the American Petroleum Institute to come here and to meet with us and to understand what you all are actually here standing for. So we're going to be doing some work on social media to push that out and show how outrageous their advertising is and how they're trying to denigrate the great work that's going on here, and really help. It would be really helpful if you all could help share that and push that out as well, so that we can really show what we're really doing here and how ridiculous the American Petroleum Institute is.
Good job, David.
We're going to be sharing an image on Facebook from 350, from Oil Change, from other places. If you can share that, it's going to have the API phone number, and we can get the API's phone number written up somewhere if you want to give a call as well.
In the ad, I was answering another question. Did you describe the ad that they have running?
Well, basically, it's a picture of a cowboy of some variety sitting there and being sort of looked on upon by a tourist and his daughter, and they're talking about how we want to bring the world back to a time before we used oil, before electricity, and saying that we're pushing for us to go back to primitive times, dark times, and it's really outrageous.
He has no Keystone XL, banners on the floor. They didn't put a tribal person in the picture because I think they knew that would have definitely crossed the line of outrage, but obviously the cowboy side of things is not happy that they feel it's okay to kind of, make us look like idiots or that we don't know what we're doing.
Did they use any Washington Redskin logos?
Not yet. But I hope that they're brave enough to get out of their, ivy tower and get their shoes a little bit dusty to come down and visit with us. But we'll see.
It shows you the tremendous work that we're doing. That people are running those ads on the front page on the website. voices are being heard. So that's just a good affirmation of what we're doing here. Later on today, we're going to be a part of what's going to happen today. Is they're going to be talking about a spiritual camp going on and back in South Dakota. I just want to just kind of put it into your mind. Back in South Dakota and also Nebraska and places back home, people are having camps, action camps, spiritual camp. And there's one in particular that we're going to acknowledge today, and that's in Greengrass on the Cheyenne River Res. And that site is the home of the White Buffalo Calf Pipe. It's the one of the foundations of our spirituality is Lakota as a part of the Ocheti Shakowing. And at that camp, they're gonna light a fire, and that fire is in support of here. So there's gonna be hundreds and hundreds of people coming to that there and praying for us, praying for what's going on here, and praying for the land back home. And we as Ocheti Shakowing Orate, we acknowledge our relatives back there. We acknowledge the keeper of that pipe, Orville's looking horse. And so we're going to keep that in mind throughout the day, throughout the rest of our camp here, because they're going to be doing stuff back home, and we want to acknowledge that, because for us it's very significant. So if there's no other questions, we're going to break for now.
Sorry, we're dealing with a radio show logistical problem. I apologize.
So again, Steve is going to be painted in there. He needs help. Those that want to go to the action, she had the location to go to. And we're going to be putting this TV back up at some point. It was leaning over, so we have to put it back up for people that have questions about that.
If you don't know how to get to the Lincoln Memorial, you can talk to one of us, or yes, I mean you can just walk straight down this mall. It's probably a 15-minute walk. It's a beautiful walk too, because you get to see other monuments. So just keep on walking till you see the big guy in a big looking bat cave dome. So
is that it?
Is it in the front of the memorial?
If you guys,
It's a law perfection. So
yes, you
it's
should.
toward the statue.
You guys should just kind of stand near the platform of the memorial, and you'll be able to see everything. Yep.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you, relatives, for this morning.
Okay, action team for today. If we can meet over here.
Hey, my guys, can you come here?
There you have it. There's the plan for the day. So glad you could join us. Freeman Sullivan out here on the live stream in the National Mall in Washington, D.C. We're here, No on Keystone XL pipeline. There's lots and lots of people here. They're all over from the Midwest, all over the country, all over the world. We're united in our opposition. We say no to new pipelines, no to dirty tar sands oil. And we're here, and we want to show President Obama that we mean business. So for those of you who are watching, thank you very much. We'll be back a little bit later on in the day. I'm actually going to be covering a different event here, starting at 12 noon. Their postal workers are going to be having a rally at Staples. So we'll be there starting at 12 noon today. And then we'll be back, and we'll be covering the No on Keystone XL pipeline demonstrations here at the National Mall in Washington, D.C. So this is Clark Sullivan, Freeman Sullivan, if you want to follow me on Twitter, signing off. Everybody have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.